English opens the world. Dara lived in a small city between brown hills and a bright river. She worked in her mother's little shop, selling tea, soap, notebooks, and sweets. She was shy but curious. At night she looked at the river and thought about far places, airports, tall buildings, new faces, no ideas. She wished to travel one day, to find good work, and to make friends from other countries. But she felt a wall in front of her. The wall had one name: English. One evening, a traveler stopped at the shop and asked, "Do you have bottled water?" Zara understood the word water, but not the whole sentence. She pointed, smiled, and felt small. After the traveler left, she closed the door and whispered, "I will learn. I will open this wall like a door." She began with a tiny plan: 10 minutes in the morning for listening, 10 minutes in the afternoon for reading, 2 minutes in the evening for speaking aloud, even if she spoke to the mirror or to the teapot. She wrote new words in a notebook and circled phrases, not only single words. How much is it? Where is the bus stop? Could you repeat, please? She recorded her voice on her phone. It was soft and shaky at first. She did not stop. Every day she returned like a river returns to the same path. Weeks passed. The notebook became thick. The soft, shaky voice became steadier. She started a small routine in the shop. When no customers were inside, she read product labels in English and tried to explain them out loud in simple sentences. This soap is gentle. This tea is strong. This notebook has 40 pages. When the bell on the door rang, she smiled and switched back to her mother tongue. But inside her heart, English was growing like a seed. The first door, travel. One morning, a poster appeared on the wall of the community center. Youth exchange visit a neighboring country. Basic English required. Zara took a photo of the poster and felt her hands shake. She had never been on a plane. She had never crossed a border. That night she practiced an introduction again and again. "Hello, my name is Zara. I am from the River City. I like books and tea and small shops." She sent an application and waited. 2 weeks later, an email came. "You're accepted." She read the message 3 times, then ran to tell her mother. They hugged in the kitchen, next to the box of tea leaves. Later, when the house was quiet, fear came to visit. What if I cannot speak? What if I cannot understand airport words? She took a deep breath and opened her notebook. She wrote a new page, airport phrases. She practiced check-in, boarding pass, gate number, security, passport, luggage. She listened to short airport dialogues and shadowed the voices, copying the music of each line. The day of travel arrived. The airport was big and bright. Signs shone like mirrors. "Boarding pass, please," the agent said. Zara handed it over and answered, "Here you are." Her hands trembled, but her words were clear. At security, she forgot to take her water out of the bag. An officer spoke quickly, and Zara caught only half of the sentence. She used a safe line from her phrase bank. "Sorry, I did not understand." "Could you say it again, more slowly?" The officer smiled and pointed. She removed the bottle and passed through. On the plane, she sat next to a woman with a small blue scarf. First time, the woman asked. "Yes," Zara said, and they both laughed. They spoke in simple English for 20 minutes about families, food, and fear of flying. When the plane landed and everyone clapped, Zara felt something new in her chest. The wall was not gone, but there was a door now, and she had stepped through it. The exchange program lasted 10 days. Students from many countries met in a small training center. They shared rooms and chores and stories. At lunch, English floated across the tables like warm steam. It was not perfect English. It was mixed and broken and full of smiles. A boy from Brazil taught a card game. A girl from Japan shared a song. A Kenyan student showed photos of his farm. Zara showed the group how to make tea with cardamom. Each time she explained a step, boil water, add leaves, wait 2 minutes, her voice grew a little taller. One afternoon, the group got lost in a park. A signboard showed a map, but no one could agree on the path. Zara walked to a guard and asked, "Excuse me, how can we go to the museum?" The guard explained quickly and pointed. She listened for keywords, left bridge, second gate, and repeated them to the group. They reached the museum together. Everyone clapped and called her Captain Zara. She blushed and looked down, but inside she felt a quiet joy. English had not only carried her across the sky, it had helped her carry others across a city. When she returned home, the river looked the same, but her eyes did not. The world felt larger, and the door felt real. She wrote on the first page of a new notebook, "English opens the road." The second door, work, back in the shop, two tourists entered with heavy backpacks. "Do you sell phone chargers?" one asked. Zara did not freeze this time. "Yes, here," she said. "We have fast charger and long cable." She explained prices and smiled with calm eyes. After they paid, one tourist said, "Your English is good." Zara answered honestly, "Thank you. I am learning." When they left, her mother looked at her with bright pride. A month later, a friend told her about a job at a small export company that sold handmade scarves online. "They need someone to answer emails in English," the friend said. Zara read the job post and felt the old fear in her throat. Emails, video calls. That night she practiced writing short, polite messages. "Thank you for your message. We will ship your order tomorrow. Could you please confirm your address?" She recorded a 2-minute self-introduction on her phone and listened to it while washing cups. At the interview, the manager smiled kindly. "Tell me about yourself," he said. Zara used the plan she had built many times, a clear beginning, a simple middle, a short end. "My name is Zara. I work in a shop. I like to solve problems. I learned English to help customers. I joined an exchange program. I can read and write emails clearly." She did not try to impress with big words. She tried to be true. When she didn't understand a question, she used her safe line, "Could you say that in another way?" The manager nodded, asked again, and Zara answered. 2 days later, she received a call. "We would like you to join us," the manager said. "Start on Monday." She sat on the shop step and watched the river move. Work was another door, and English was the key turning in the lock. In the new job, the first week was hard. She typed slowly, checked spelling twice, and worried about tone. She kept a small list on her desk. "Please find attached." "I appreciate your patience. We apologize for the delay." She saved good phrases from emails and reused them like tools. She learned to write clearly, one idea per sentence, one question per line. When a customer was angry, she did not hide. She wrote with calm and kindness. Often, kindness was the bridge that carried the message across difficult water. Video meetings were scarier. The screen showed faces from 3 countries. The first time, her voice shook and her mouth went dry. She kept a cup of water next to the keyboard and a small card with 3 points. Update on orders. Problem with shipment. Plan for next week. When her mind went blank, she looked at the card and continued. After the meeting, a teammate messaged, "You explained the plan clearly." "Thank you." Zara smiled at the screen. English was not perfect in her mouth, but it was useful in her hands. As months passed, she did more. She wrote product descriptions in simple English. Soft wool scarf, hand-woven, warm for winter, made with care. The site looked cleaner. Orders grew. One evening, the manager said, "Because of your clear emails, a new shop in another country wants to work with us." Zara walked home slowly that night, listening to the river and to her own breath. Work was changing, and English was opening that change. The third door, friendships, travel had shown the wide world. Work had brought new tasks and new pride. But the best door opened quietly on a Tuesday evening when she joined a small online group called Tea Talk. People from many places met for 30 minutes each week to practice English and share a small part of life. The first session began with a simple question: "What is one object on your desk, and why do you like it?" A boy from Turkey held up a small compass. A woman from Mexico showed a photo of her grandmother. A nurse from Indonesia lifted a tiny plant. Zara held up her tea glass and said, "This is my friend every evening." Everyone laughed softly. The sound felt like warm bread. Week after week, they met. They spoke slowly and clearly. They learned to listen for meaning, not for mistakes. They learned to ask good questions. Why? How? When did that change? They learned to show care with small words. "I see. That's interesting. Thank you for sharing." Some days, the internet cut out. Some days, the grammar was broken. But every week, a small light grew between faces on the screen. One night, a woman from Poland said, "My father is sick." "I am worried." The group stayed quiet and kind. Zara said, "We are with you." "Please tell us more." The woman spoke, and her voice did not break. Because the small box on the screen felt like a safe room. Later, when the call ended, Zara realized something bright. English was not only for airports and emails. English could also carry comfort from one heart to another. The group began to exchange recipes. Someone sent a simple cake recipe in clear English. Zara sent instructions for cardamom tea. They also exchanged stories about cities, trains, street markets, and books. They made a rule. Every week, one person teaches a tiny lesson from their life: how to fix a button, how to keep a plant alive, how to pack a suitcase. These lessons did not make anyone rich or famous, but they made everyone feel close. In spring, one member of the group, a student from Nepal, visited Zara's city for a conference. They met by the river with paper cups of tea. They walked and spoke slowly, the same way they spoke online, but now the wind touched their faces and the river moved next to their steps. "We are friends," the student said. "Yes," Zara answered. "We are friends because English carried our voices across the map." Carrying the door home, Zara wanted others to feel this opening. She asked the manager for permission to use the company room on Saturday mornings. She placed a handwritten sign on the door: "English Hour, everyone welcome." Mothers came with children. Taxi drivers came after the night shift. Elders came with quiet eyes. They did not learn long lists. They learned small, useful pieces: how to ask for help, how to give directions, how to say sorry, how to say thank you in many ways. Every session ended with a circle of one true sentence, where each person shared one honest line from their week. The sentences were not perfect, they were perfect enough. Soon, the shop also changed. Zara printed small English labels and placed them on the shelves: soap, tea, notebook, charger. Tourists smiled. Local children touched the labels and read them aloud. Her mother laughed and said, "Our shop now speaks 2 languages." One evening, the traveler with the bottled water question returned. He recognized the shop and asked, "Do you remember me?" Zara smiled. "Yes, you asked for water." They talked for a few minutes. He was passing through on his way to the mountains. He needed a scarf, batteries, and advice about buses. Zara explained all 3 in clear English. Before he left, he said, "Your English opened our conversation." She watched him go and whispered, "It opened my life." The world, the river, the door. Years later, when Zara told her story to a new group of learners, she did not use big words. She did not pretend the journey was easy. She spoke slowly and told the truth. I began with 10 minutes a day. I learned phrases, not only words. I carried a safe line. Could you repeat, please? I traveled and made small mistakes. The door still opened. I wrote clear emails. Work changed. I joined Tea and Talk. Friends grew. She held up her old notebook with pages full of circles, arrows, and tea stains. This is not a book of perfect grammar, she said. This is a book of doors. Each page opened one. After the talk, a young man asked, "What is the biggest lesson?" Zara looked at the river through the window and answered, "English is a bridge, but you are the traveler. The bridge does not move, you move. Take one small step every day. The world will meet you halfway." That night, she walked home by the water. The hills were dark. The sky was soft. She passed the shop and saw her mother counting boxes. She waved and kept walking. The river whispered its old song, and Zara heard a new line inside it. English opens the world, and a steady heart walks through. She smiled, turned the key to her door, and stepped into a room that felt larger than before because now, wherever she stood, she could also stand a little farther with the help of simple words that linked place to place, hand to hand, and heart to heart.